All right, let's go. Chicago Bears are up next, Sam. The over/under for the Bears is 8.5.
Ooh.
8.5 for the Bears, and currently number three easiest schedule for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams coming in. A lot of excitement here. What are you looking for with the Bears?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited to see what this offense is going to look like. Like how quickly can Caleb Williams hit the ground running, and how good can it be? I'm sort of fascinated by him generally as a prospect. Obviously, we've talked him to death, the number one overall pick, this sort of slam dunk, obvious answer at the top of this draft. But his sort of analysis, his profile was comped to Patrick Mahomes a lot. And it makes sense. And it's a sort of unreasonable, unfair expectation. But the reason I think it's most interesting is the biggest question for him to me is the same as it was for Mahomes, which is, all right, the special stuff is amazing. That's great. Love it. You know, it's fantastic. You've got that club in your bag. Um, Golf reference for the U.S. Open yesterday, U.S. Open. Uh, but can you just play within the structure of the offense more, right? We as a coaching staff are better than you're used to. The team around you is better than you're used to, let's say, because he had a pretty good coach in college. So we don't need you to do everything, right? We've got a pretty good structure going here. I just need you to play within it most of the time. And then when it goes to hell, that's when you go and make something special happen. And that was the question for Mahomes. Like Texas Tech was all Patrick Mahomes just ad-libbing and making special things happen and doing whatever he wanted. And it works in the Big 12 when nobody plays defense. But does it work in the NFL? Probably not, but he was able to adjust. So that's the question with Caleb Williams. Like, can you play within structure more? And actually, I think his in structure stuff looked really good. He just didn't do it as much. So if they can get him doing that, I think the ceiling for him, even year one, is ridiculously high, given the receiving talent around him, given the situation there. And then I think the Bears could really cook if he can, and if it looks a bit like last year's USC, where it's just him playing hero ball constantly. You sort of saw, in the Notre Dame game or a couple of other games, like NFL defenses will punish that pretty regularly. So then you could get one of those. Peyton Manning's been talking for like the last 25 years, like imploring somebody to please break his rookie record of interceptions. I mean, if he plays like that, it could be in danger.
No, it is difficult to throw that many interceptions in today's NFL. It really is. It's just different, man. But look, I think all good points that we, like you said, we discussed around draft time quite a bit. The playing within structure becomes easier when you have receivers to throw to, guys that are going to get open within structure. And that trio of DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then, number 9 overall pick, Rome Odunze, to go with Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett. It is such a good group. DeAndre Swift catching the ball out of the backfield. So he's got the pieces. And I think that's where the optimism in Chicago is twofold. It's, hey, Caleb Williams is in the building. We have a quarterback to build around here. But also the supporting cast is far better than what they had with Justin Fields, far better than we've seen in Chicago probably since 2018. Now, you and I are both on the same page. I do think defensively, remember, they won 7 games last year, and a big part of that was the defense just playing better down the stretch. Personnel-wise, it doesn't look like a strong defense. So can they play, better? The sum of their parts better than the individual players? Yeah, they bring in Montez Sweat middle of the year last year, and TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds were solid linebacker picks, and Jalen Johnson had a career year. But can they put it all together? And they're young too. You've got guys like Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith at corner that are heading into year 2. Jaquan Brisker heading into year 3, a veteran like Kevin Byard. I'm just naming a lot of players here, but nothing screams top 10 defense. But I also don't think they're teasing having a bottom 5 defense or anything like that either. So I think that's going to be a big question here for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's more like, can they even just sustain what they were doing last year? Like, was that real, or was that a weird run where the results were better than the individual performances of the players within that defense? Because one would say, okay, this is a defense that will match the offense, and the Bears might be really good. The other would say the defense might regress hard, and then you're sort of relying on the offense picking up that slack and being really good on the other side. So, yeah, the defense will be almost as interesting to watch as the offensive side.
All right, 8.5, man. Over or under here for the Bears?
I'm gonna go over, I think.
Yeah, I hate this because I want to go over because the schedule too. The schedule being the third easiest,
Yeah.
which is surprising to me in the NFC North because we're going to sit here and talk up the NFC North as the best or second best division in football, right? So my instincts want to say under. Yeah, let me just go under because I got to go under for somebody. I do have to be conscious of it at some point. 8, 8, and 9. Oh, Bears fans are going to be so mad at me. They drafted Caleb Williams and they go from 7 to 8 wins.
And they almost get worse. At least they're winning more games than last year. You're
But
not that bad.
Super Bowl, they're going to go NFC Championship in 2025. How about that?
Okay.
To balance things out.